Speaking of cheese, I think we were. I'm segueing a bit here. Last night, the 5th Cuisine magazine Champions of Cheese Awards, there must be a Qantas award in there, were decided from around 400 entries. They may have been a newcomer to the competition, but the Clevedon Valley Buffalo Company won 2 top awards for their ricotta. Not a bad achievement for the novice cheesemakers who took a big punt on some imported water buffaloes, Emma Keeling explains.
Early morning milking just isn't what it used to be for John Montgomery. After milking dairy cows for 35 years, he and wife Ray were asked to milk buffalo, which left them feeling...
I guess a little aghast to start with.
Things do have to be done a little differently.
I thought a little about it and the idea of a new venture and try something a bit different. Excited myself and my wife, so we decided to join the group, yeah.
The group's a partnership of family and friends who wanted to make buffalo mozzarella, little white balls of cheesy goodness which have always been imported from Italy until now.
We're after a good seal, like that one's not so good. We're after a nice smooth finish, a nice shiny cheese, and I've got to go over here for a second and just pinch a few more off. And a nice soft texture.
It's a frantic process that all started 2.5 years ago. Richard and Helen Dorstein set up the Clevedon Farmers Market. They had meat producers and vegetable and fruit growers, but they couldn't find a cheese producer.
Richard and I tossed around the idea of actually becoming cheesemakers and have had buffalo mozzarella in the past and decided it would be something different and fun to try.
That's pretty shiny, eh?
It's a New Zealand first, so it was a risk, but they had years of cheese making behind them, right?
No, not really. We've just learnt it all on the hoof, basically. Experience since we decided to go with the project, the knowledge has been picked up. But having said that, we both love food.
But food production costs money, so a partnership was formed between John, Ray and Richard and Helen, who brought in her sister and brother-in-law. Then the long process of importing buffalo from Australia began.
Quarantine was around 3 months. With 2 of our shipments, that was extended out to 5 months. And we really didn't know that they were actually going to get here till the day they landed.
An electrician by trade, Richard figured out how to build a cheese factory, while John figured out the intricacies of milking buffalo. First problem, how to persuade them to give up their precious load.
And then even when she is milking, she takes about 3 or 4 times as long to give about half as much milk as a dairy cow.
And every day they get a different amount of it, so the milk they get is precious. And that's where their next big problem came in, learning the art of mozzarella making.
We struggled a little bit till we went to Italy to have a look at just how they were doing it and even recovering the ricotta with this little tool I've got here. If you haven't got the right equipment, it's quite difficult.
Just getting a sample of curd.
Consultant Peter Bryan's been helping them, and he's also learning a lot about buffalo milk, which contains twice the amount of milk solids and calcium as cow's milk, and it's lower in cholesterol.
It's quite hot, the cheese at the moment. What sort of temperature are we talking, Peter, about?
About 65 degrees.
65.
You might say it took balls to be the first to make mozzarella in New Zealand. Once they have food safety approval, you'll be able to buy it, but only at the Clevedon Farmers Market. You have to trust me, the smell in this room is sweet and rich, however the taste is clean.
Here you go, Emma, try that one then.
Okay, just pop it off.
Try and bite straight onto it.
I'll bite straight onto it.
Big bite, come on.
Oh wow. Warm and tasty and a bit tingly really, it's amazing.
It doesn't have a fatty aftertaste in your mouth. It's almost like drinking a dairy equivalent of coconut milk. It's lovely.
Only 5 buffalo are currently being milked, but from June they're planning to be milking around 20 to 30.
We've put a lot of money in to get to this stage with the animals, and we'll probably employ a full-time cheesemaker, whether it's me or someone else or both of us. And then we can start experimenting and making other cheeses. As we get more and more volume coming through, we can start doing different products.
Most of the hard work's done. Last night they won 2 awards for their ricotta. Now they just have to convince New Zealanders that great cheese can come from a buffalo.